finally broke out from the spirit of homosexuality. Growing up, I was involved in some acts that were not godly. Like I was much when I was young, and for a very long time, I was training myself not to be the worst version of myself, in the sense that I was afraid of being gay, and that fear made me to be what I feared. That means I was gay for a very long time. In the sense, I was afraid because I was happy for myself, for not being able to stop myself. I couldn't get help from anyone because I was afraid of discrimination. Fear ruled my life basically. But amidst all this fear, amidst all this worry and everything, one thing stood, is that God was deliberate about me not being gay. Like, he was like, you are not going to be this. It only took a matter of time. There are some times that I would not heed to his warnings. I would not heed to anything that he was going to say. That led me into a great depression. I started becoming depressed when I was like age 10 from the after effects of the molestation. I started practicing. I didn't know who I was. My personality, I had personality disorder. Most of the marks on my body are marks that I know that every time I look at the marks, this is the reason why I have this mark, and this is why I have this mark. It went on for years. A lot of people will say, oh, my teenage life was this, my teenage life was that. They're like so excited to talk about their teenage life. But for me, my teenage life was one at which I had to lie to myself that I was genuinely happy. I was faking happiness so that I can eventually be happy. But it didn't work because you get to a length at which you fake happiness, then you finally realize the more you fake happiness, the lesser you are far away from experiencing true happiness. You get what I mean? It went on like that. The majority of the time when I feel the urge to, I would, if I can't hurt myself at that point in time, I would spray. I had a special spray. It was supposed to be, those of you that know aboniki, it was aboniki, but it was a spray. So I would have that and just to feel pain. Like, pain was my escape route for not having urges to. And the moment I finally started, and also since being homosexual became a personality, I was afraid of leaving it because it was like I was fighting my own self. Like, it was a fight between spirit and flesh, and I was too afraid that that the flesh would win every single time. And there were times that I fought, genuinely fought, but the flesh always won. The flesh always won every single time, and I just gave up. For a year, I just like, why am I going fighting a battle that I know I can't win? So I just did the thing. I just lived the life. Just lived the life until I had an encounter with the Holy Spirit, and I was under training at I think it was 15. At age 15, I started practicing celibacy. For a year, I was celibate, and I was like, yes! I felt the devil had started removing his grip from my life, but when age 16 came, I think that was the climax of puberty. It hit me like a rocket, and into that life we went again. But this time, I did not go into that life like, oh, I liked it. No, I forced myself to do things that normal people would do, normal guys would do, like girls, fantasize about girls, look at a girl and be like, ooh, purposely lusting over them. So I will not just be gay, drift from being gay to being bisexual. And it worked. For a long time, we were bisexual. I did just stay. Yes, we were. But I was not still satisfied because the other part of me was always conquering, always effective. I do not know why some other things could not be effective. But this affected my work with Christ because at the time I would be very hot. Yes! And then other times I would just be planted. Was like this. I had a best friend, but guess who was closer to me than my best friend? And every single time I was myself, and that me not experiencing what true love was made me start giving out the little part of me that still existed to people. I would look for people that I would intentionally love unconditionally. I would spend money on people just so, since I can't love myself, maybe someone out there would love me. And trust me, it did not work. Dululu was never the solution, and it is still never the solution. I got myself heartbroken, first love heartbroken, everything, and it went on like that, until 2020, when I finally said, if I'm ever going to stop this thing, if I'm ever going to get out, it's not, the problem was never me being gay at the point in time. It was never me being gay, it was just me being happy. I just wanted to be happy. I just wanted to feel what it felt to be, oh, I'm joyous and I'm genuinely happy. That's what I just wanted to feel, not me being gay. Me being bisexual now was something that didn't make me happy, because I knew my mom didn't like it. I knew I couldn't come out to my parents. This is not America that you can come out. Oh my god, I'm gay. Down. It was like that, and for years and years. 2020, the Holy Spirit gave me a mandate, which is the World Stream International, and it started in April. And I was like, I'm the wrong person to give this assignment to. At that point in time, 2020, we were quarantined. We were in our house, and none of us could go out, and the Holy Spirit basically said it needed someone that could act as a general to lead young people, so that to sustain them, so they don't wander off into things that they are not meant to wander off into. And it chose more. And I was like, I was the wrong person to. You're picking a bisexual person that has personality disorder. I was still having personality disorders. And I'm like, this is the wrong person to give this assignment to. If you are going to give something as huge as Word Stream, give it to someone at least the person be straight, not me. And he said something profound, and he said, I chose you. You are the rejected stone, and I will make you the greatest weapon. And I allowed that to happen. 2020, I still had my challenges. I still had times that I fought. And this time, it's the fight, the war was no more for myself. It was more like, I am fighting for souls. If I cannot effect change, if I do not experience the change in my own life, and that kept making me fight, and the fight gave me faith, the fight gave me strength. I mean, 2020 went on, 2021 went on, 2021, that was when, because now the pressure from 2020, from hiding myself from the public, was so much, it was tense, I couldn't take it anymore. So 2021, I broke down, and I think that was when my mom found out that our son was not straight. It was like that, and the pressure of her telling me, you are a mistake, you are this, you are that. That literally, it's like they took a wrecking ball and wrecked my entire world. And mentally, I just broke down. I felt that there was no need. 2022, I spent majority of my time. If anyone ever told me that I would myself intentionally and feel no pain at that, I'll tell the person that it's a lie. But 2022, I practiced so much. At this point in time, I only had little to zero people that could help. People prayed, good, but I needed physical attention. I needed people to look at me and just love me. But because of the distance, I was not with my best friend. She was in Lagos. At that time, I was in Benin. The distance and everything. And God sent a church in the name of church. And on 2020, I wanted to just end it all. I already had the equipment ready. To and I could not feel pain. So and I knew the vital place to just, and gone. Close chapter. We want to settle the rest with God. God sent that church, and the church made sure they involved me in everything, showed me love. They built a community, and I was safe in that community until I came to Lagos. And during that time, 2023, I told myself that this problem has eaten too much of me, and I gave myself to the Holy Spirit completely. And I told myself, this year we are going to grow intentionally, no matter what the circumstances is. the end of 2022, I came back to Lagos and I met the Love of Singers team's voice, and it was an amazing experience because from the Ignite Youth Service from the Ignite Youth Church, I came in contact with teenagers that were in the ministry that I was born into, Christ Embassy. And we sang. I met teenagers that were my age, people that had the same issue, and one person, I'm not going to mention names, but one person that had that same issue that was more advanced. The person had the same issue of identity crisis, was also battling with homosexuality, but how I put it, he had mastered and had control over his. So it was more like a guide and more like someone that I could look up to, and I was like, if he can do it and he's not self every time, I can also fight and do it too. We did all that. 2023 was more of, I grew spiritually and I could tell myself that yes, if the urges came, I could fight with the word, I could fight in spirits, I could fight with tongues. I was praying a lot, because when you want to get out of something, the devil does not let you just go, because it doesn't just let you go. He would make sure he rock and wrecks your world. And in 2023, I didn't allow that. At the end of 2023, I already told myself that this part of my life should end. And besides, I'm turning 20 this year. It will be like the grandest way. And I made a promise at the 31st night that I'm going to practice sexual purity. And I started 2023 already made the decision that I was not going to be anything. Instead of pretending to be something, like pretending to be straight basically, I was just going to practice sexual purity and practice spiritual purity. And I set out to do that. I was consecrated in the month of August in 2023. I was consecrated in the month of December, preparing my mind for a lot of things I was about to do, because I knew that me doing this was a fight, and I had to prepare with the full armor of God, basically. In 2024, this 2024, Happy New Year. In 2024, the first few months, the first few days, something arose, and we had a meeting with our man of God, Pastor Chris, and it had to do with the spiritual, and it was an issue with homosexuality and everything. So, yesterday, we had the meeting, and Pastor was talking about how bad it was. And it's not as if I didn't know all these things. I mean, I read the Bible a lot, so I know that being gay is bad, being bisexual is bad. You have to be straight. I've got to be straight, so you have to be straight too. So I knew all these things, and as he was talking, I was already making sure that, oh, thank God. I was like, oh, thank God I'm no more gay. I mean, thank God I'm not more even bisexual. Like, I was already clean. I was just working on being more disciplined. That was all I was working on. It's not as if I still practiced it. But when he called for people to come outside, I had to come outside. So prayer, we prayed and we fasted yesterday, and I can finally say I am free from it, every single ounce of it, and the journey that has eaten me up for a long time, for a very, very long time, is finally over, and it's a new chapter. I mean, I've been promising myself that I was going to do a video like this and post it, so every single queer Christian that is out there that wants to change, wants to give their all, can, especially in Nigeria, can look at me and say, if Alfred can do it, if Alfred can open up to us and heal, why can't they?